Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 139 of Classic Leet. My name is Scott, and I'll be hosting tonight. And it's just going to be Dustin and I. What's going on, man?
Not much.
I
was trying to think of something clever to say, but I couldn't come up with anything.
You're usually good on the spot like that, too.
I guess I had a long day at work or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd blame it on that. I'm not in that great of a mood, man. So my face is bright red if you're watching us on YouTube. So I just got done golfing. I cost my team the win for the whole tournament.
Oh,
So I played so bad. It's frustrating. And my team played good, so I was the only one of the four of us that stunk.
that's a bummer.
It was yeah. We it looks like we're still gonna finish second or third, so not bad. There's a little bit of prize money, a very little bit, kind of like our YouTube revenue, very, very, very little.
Oh wow, okay.
So yeah, but yeah, so I don't know. I'm looking forward to podcasting so that I can get my mind off of the horrible round of golf that I played. So yeah, and so nothing's new with you?
Well, I graduated.
That's right, you officially did. So I got to ask you, do they make you pay for your application to graduate?
They not up front.
It
may have been like incorporated in student fees like over the years or something.
Gotcha. Yeah, it was like $50 to apply to graduate.
Yeah, that may have been something like your student fees were cheaper over the years, where mine were higher, and
Gotcha.
they just hid it under something.
Yeah. Speaking of hiding stuff under whatnot, the school that I went to, never mind. I'm not going to tell a story. It's going to go down the wrong path. So never mind. You just never know. I'll tell you after the show. But so I guess since there's not much else to talk about, we can kind of jump into the episode. I do have a major correction from last episode that I need to make. And it's that Crypto the Necrodancer, you can use a gamepad. I believe I said that you couldn't use a gamepad, and that's not the case. You can use a gamepad.
Okay.
I'm still not loving that game as much as everybody else. I've gotten further in it than I had last episode, but if I'm going to play a roguelike and want music, I'm going to put on some SoundCloud chiptune, like This Week in Chiptune from GJ Cutman, and play some Rogue Legacy.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's not bad. And also, if you are a fan of old cartoons, Dustin, I was on the last episode of, well, not the final episode, but the most recent episode of the Cartoon Retrocast and their after show.
Sweet.
So we got to talk about Darkwing Duck.
Oh, that's a great cartoon.
It was good, and the episode that Mike picked was a really fun one to watch. I actually watched it twice in a row not in a row, but I watched it twice to get ready for the episode.
Which one was it?
Episode number 81, and the Darkwing Duck episode was the Negaverse and everything. And did you watch a lot of Darkwing Duck?
A little bit.
Do you happen to remember an episode where they go into an alternate dimension and everything is like negative to what you know? So the fearsome four are now good guys in the good world, and Goslin, his like daughter or whatever, is she's like a tomboy in the regular world, and in the negative universe, she's like a princess, and her buddy that's really nerdy is like this, I kid you not, like a Hitler character. So there were a couple of things in that episode that made me feel like, oh my gosh, like things have changed since the 90s. For one, they called each other knobs.
Oh, wow. All
yeah,
right.
right? Like that's dickhead.
Yeah.
So then the one guy's like, we're not knobs. So they did that. And then at one point, when Darkwing Duck is in the negative world, his negative version of himself, Negaduck, is on there's a news broadcast that says, hey, Darkwing Duck is in this world. If you see him, capture him and arrest him because Negaduck wants us to. And then Negaduck jumps in. He's like, no, shoot him. Skin him alive. And it's like, This was in an
That's
after-school
awesome.
cartoon? Like, okay.
Man.
So, yeah, between calling people dickheads and skinning them, I was like, this is kind of heavy stuff for a kid's cartoon. But it was a lot of fun, so definitely appreciate them having me on as a guest. If you want to check that out, go to cartoonretrocast.com, episode 81. And, the after show, we ended up... You'd appreciate this, Dustin. We started talking about some programming. I got to let them know about the Windows 10 program coming up and all that kind of stuff. During the episode, we even touched on racial stuff, which is common for them, but not common for me. Because the one guy Jeremy lives in Baltimore, where all that stuff's happening.
Oh yeah,
or was happening. So it's interesting just hearing his perspective over the last couple of weeks on that kind of stuff. So,
man.
Well, yeah, I just wanted to make a correction about Crypto the Necrodancer and also give a shout out to the Cartoon Retrocast. Mike wrote an email again, so we'll get to that at the end of the episode, which will be pretty cool. So news, man. Should we start with the big news of the week?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why don't you go for it?
Oh man. Okay. So I didn't actually know about it until you sent me that text.
Oh, really?
Yes. So I went to check it out, and what we're talking about is Koji Irashi, the basically the guy known for the Castlevania series. Although he didn't start it, he kind of he came in at Rondo of Blood and kind of was responsible for Symphony of the Night and all of the Metroidvania Castlevanias. He started his own Kickstarter for a game called Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, which sounds very Castlevania-y,
Yes.
intentionally so. And he was looking for $500,000, and he made over $1 million in 24 hours.
Yes.
And he is closing in on $2 million as we speak, with 29 days left.
That's crazy. It's getting to the point where I'm getting caught up in the hype,
Yeah.
and I'm thinking, man, I kind of want to back this.
Well, 60 of those dollars are mine.
And it is it's scheduled for March 2017. I like how they put that far out of a due date or whatever, or a launch date, because look what happened with Double Fine and Broken Age.
Yeah.
You know, that's been kind of a disaster for them. Look at Pure Solar, how many delays they had and all that. So it's cool to see them be... Is it conservative or aggressive? I guess quite conservative with their scheduling. So
Yeah.
good for them. So $60, man. And what do you know so far about it?
Koji Irashi is attached to it. The lady who does the soundtracks, what's her name? Michiru Yamane. She's doing the soundtrack. NT Creates is going to be behind the development. They worked a little on Mighty Number 9, Mega Man 9, Mega Man 10.
Oh, so that's some pedigree there.
Yeah, I mean, there's really nothing but concept art at this point.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm pretty excited about it.
Mighty Number 9 only really had concept art when it made it, and now we're getting close to it. It's September that game comes out, and people are getting really optimistic. It's going to be pretty sweet. So you got to think that with a passion project like this, it's really going to come out well.
Yeah, and David Hayter is now attached to it.
He's a voice actor,
Snake.
right?
Yeah.
Which we'll get to some news about Metal Gear Solid here in a little bit as well, tangentially. But there's a big announcement from Konami today that, pretty much means that there's not going to be any more Metal Gear games.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much the news.
It very much fits, and it's very much the next beat in the news that's been surrounding Konami recently. So
yeah, exactly. And I guess we shouldn't be. I'm a little surprised that they're staying in games at all. I know you and I have joked that they're going to be just focusing on all their other business plans. But Konami today basically announced that they're going to be going mobile when it comes to games.
Yep.
And You know what? They're probably going to make some good mobile games.
Yeah.
But that's not what we know them for. That's not why we love them.
True that.
So.
Yeah, that the Happy Video Game Nerd video that you linked, that was a good video.
Oh, no, that wouldn't happen Video Game Nerd. That was a Happy Console Gamer.
That's what I meant, yes.
Yeah, that's where I found out about it. I subscribed to him on YouTube. He's a funny guy.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed. He used to be on the All Gen Gamer podcast, and he was my favorite part of it.
Yeah.
Like, he would get philosophical sometimes about life advice, dating advice, stuff like that. And he was always really spot on. Always came across as a real smart guy. So he's got high energy. I really like him a lot.
I like his videos, but I always watch, like, I'm always looking in the background because if you'll notice his game collection, like the
shelf
cabinets
bends.
they're starting to bow, and I'm always worried that it's just going to collapse.
Yes, I'm the same way because he's got all those books on that one shelf. But yeah, Konami is going to go mobile, which is a bit of a bummer. Also, in the news, The Witcher 3 is getting some really strong reviews. Like, I believe GameSpot maybe gave it a 10. IGN, I think, gave it a 9.3.
Man.
Does that tempt you at all? Because you didn't play The Witcher 2, did you?
I haven't played any of them. I don't know. This sounds like really dense games.
Yeah, that's my problem. What I'm excited for is for other people to play the games. Like Vinny Caravello from Giant Bomb.
Yeah.
And then listen to them talk about it on podcasts. That's kind of where I'm at with The Witcher 3.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's one of those games where when a developer's out there touting, hey, there's 200 hours of content here, I'm just so turned off on that. It's just like, I can never, because that means that would be my game for the next 6 months, and that would be all that I play. Yeah. I've got Heroes of the Storm, man, launching. I can't be messing around with Witcher 3. So, yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting. I wanted to make a note of that. And speaking of Heroes of the Storm, I didn't mention it last week, but they have an official launch date. So, Dustin, I got to ask, what's your review so far of Heroes of the Storm?
I haven't installed it yet. Sorry.
It's all right.
Last week was finals, and then I graduated.
If that wasn't such a valid excuse, I'd be pissed at you.
Maybe this weekend. I'm going to write myself a note so I'll remember.
What stinks is I'll be out of town this weekend. So we'll get to hop on Skype with you and play.
At least I'll remember to install the stupid thing.
Yeah, just install. Yeah, at least to get that installed. You don't even have to do the tutorial. Because I think that would be a lot of fun. Get Josh on, get you on, us. Just even if we just play against the computer, it'd be a lot of fun.
There, I wrote myself a note.
And then also, have you ever heard of the band Fjords? Spelled the Fjords spelled Fjords. Me either. They've got a song called All In. And did you happen to click on that the link that I have from Kotaku?
Did I? Yes. Yeah.
Did you watch that video?
Yeah, it was cool.
Holy shit, was that crazy.
Yeah. And I like the song too.
Yeah, absolutely. If it wasn't a major release, I would actually play it at the end of this song, but we don't have the rights to play it, and I don't want to get us taken off of iTunes or anything like that. So, yeah. So the premise of this video is it starts off in a kid's room that looked like a kid's room from the 80s. Late 80s, early 90s, wouldn't you say? And then this kid is playing with toys and whatnot, and then eventually he starts gearing up is the only way I could think of describing it. And he pulls out an NES zapper, and he starts shooting stuff out of the air in his room. And then he pulls out an NES and hooks it up to a backpack. And then he starts wearing his backpack as a book bag, if you will. Mm-hmm. And then he plugs in his gun. And so you see him then walking around outside, shooting at stuff occasionally, and it's kind of a really nice cinematic shot. And one of the things that they do show is a bunch of cartridges that have names like knives, shotguns, rifle,
Rocket.
I'll just make up rifle, and various weapons, fireballs, rockets, all that kind of stuff. And next thing you know, they pan away from this kid shooting stuff out just in the air, just kind of pointing and shooting, to these bully kids, kind of like a scene that you would see out of, oh, it's right on the tip of my tongue. Ah, damn it. Matthew McConaughey movie. Not Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Ben Affleck's in it. Dazed and Confused. Kind of like a scene out of Dazed and Confused. And there's like these jerk kids that are all around. Well, this kid, Zapper, once he loads the cartridges in, turns into a proper weapon. And at one point, you see this kid pull out his NES Zapper, have a bully get in his face, and he's point blank with this guy and shoots him right through the head. And all of a sudden, you just see a bullet hole in his forehead, blood splatter behind him on the other people. And all of a sudden, this kid starts going on a freaking rampage with his NES Zapper, killing all these bullies.
And it's the orange one, too.
It is the orange one, but that's not the OG one. I thought that the gray one was.
It is. I think it's funny because the orange one was the one that they released because the gray one might look too much like a gun.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So they turned the orange one into a gun. I thought that was funny.
Yeah, that's a good... I didn't even notice that, or didn't even realize that, but there's a ton of little Easter eggs in it. At one point, to power on his NES, he enters the Konami Contra code.
Yeah. RFE Konami.
Yeah, rest in peace. But yeah, I don't know what kind of stuff jumped out to you. I know I pretty much spoiled the whole video, but
that I thought he used the knives cart like a knife, like he stabbed a guy with a cart, and then he like roundhouse kicked it into him.
Then he roundhouse kicked it through him. That was awesome. Did you notice when he shot the fireball, it did a loop and he kind of missed the guy? And I swear that was a shout out to the Contra looping fireball gun.
Oh yeah, the flamethrower, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That, like, yeah.
It was cool. It's a good song, and clearly the director is our age.
Yeah.
So, yeah, check that out. Again, it's the Fjords, Fjords, and the song is called All In. And if you're wanting to, just go to the show notes at classicelite.com at episode 139, and I'll have the article from Kotaku linked. That way you can watch the video there if you want. And then lastly, as far as news is concerned, we were contacted, and Dustin, I promise I'll let you talk. I've been hogging the episode so far. Apologize about that. But we received an email from an author named Derek Slayton, and he asked us if we'd be interested in taking a look at his new book coming out, or that's out. It's called the Atari 2600 Encyclopedia Volume 1. Now, there's going to be 4 volumes of this, and actually on the cover, I think it says Atari Video Computer System, so the Atari VCS, which is that was the launch title, right?
I think so.
So, this book is beautiful. Now, we got a review copy from a digital perspective, so we don't have the hard copy, but I just want to talk about a few things that are related to this digital copy that I think is something that you should consider purchasing. These are some reasons why. So I think that the layout and the design is beautiful. It has really, really vibrant colors. There are pictures with the articles as far as the box art is concerned. Each game is getting a review kind of Nintendo Legend style. So you get facts and you get his opinion on the game. And then you scroll over to another page and you're starting to get screenshots of the game. Then you scroll more and you might get more screenshots, or you might get pictures of what the manual looked like and other items. So, for example, with Track and Field, they had patches that were available. I don't know if these were mail order packages or patches or whatnot, But you could get these patches, and he had pictures of the patches in the actual book, and then you saw in the instruction manual that they were actively looking at giving these out, which I thought was really cool. It was just, the attention to detail was just amazing. So far, out of the games that I've read, I think that the writing is really solid. Like I mentioned, there's a mix of review and facts, which keeps things pretty fresh, I think. And he also has a really good introduction. It gives you an idea of what you can expect in the Encyclopedia, and thanks you very much for purchasing it, and also gives shout-outs to people that that helped him out with it. And I can't vouch for all the facts, but it feels like it's really, really well researched. He had a bunch of stuff on Air Raid, which is one of the rarest games, just period, in video games. There were only a few copies made of it, so I thought that was really cool. And also, Dustin, when I was looking through the table of contents, one of the games listed was Double Dragon. Did you even know there was Double Dragon on the 2600?
I did, but it may have been because of like some random YouTuber that I watched.
I had no idea. It looks like garbage.
It does, yeah.
But it still was really cool to see. So you have Air Raid covered, Donkey Kong, because this first volume is games A through Double Dragon, which is pretty sweet. So yeah, again, this is called the Atari Video Computer System Encyclopedia Volume 1. And just to give you an idea, the hardcover book is $50, and you can get that through Amazon. And also, I can't comment on it. He only sent us a digital review copy, so all I can comment is the PDF version that we received. But I think if you buy it through Amazon, like your Kindle, it's $10, $9.99. And if you get the iBook version, it's $12.99. There's 400 pages of content, man.
That's crazy.
So when it's all said and done, you imagine like Game of Thrones style amount of information about the 2600. Not the style of the book, just the amount of pages that are going to be involved. But yeah. I mean, it's beautiful. When we get done with this, you'll have to definitely download that PDF and take a look at it and give your thoughts next week. If you're extra curious about what this book looks like, go to our YouTube channel, and here in the next day or so, I'm going to post a video review of the book. And I can't say enough good things about it. The only real quip that I have with it is I wish he was this passionate about the NES.
Yeah, no joke.
Because that's my system. I'm a little young for the 2600. I've got some nostalgia for it. My neighbor had one. I played it a little bit, but the NES is really the one that hits me in the heartstrings. But, okay, man.
I'll have to get Eric Bailey to do that.
Yes, that would be awesome. What I'll do is I should buy him a copy of this book and just write inspiration next to it. It's amazing that he's been able to do all of this, the writing, and he's honest. One of the games early on, he's like, and the not so good shooter, which I thought was awesome. So yeah, man, that's pretty much it as far as news is concerned. Oh, one other thing that we should talk about a little bit is Ukulele. Have you seen much about this?
I'm not. I've only heard stuff on the Giant Bomb.
Okay. I just wanted to bring it up just to see if you happen to be into it. I never really got into 3D platformers that much. Did you?
I loved Mario 64, but I didn't play like Donkey Kong Country or Donkey Kong 64 or Banjo-Kazooie.
No, I didn't play Banjo-Kazooie either, so it's a little lost on me, but this was another Kickstarter, and they have a lot of the original people from Banjo-Kazooie, and I think that's a great name. Just a great name for a spiritual successor, Yuka and Laylee.
Mm-hmm.
That's just awesome. Instead of Banjo and Kazooie, I love smart people. I wish I was one of them. So, okay, man. So now the floor is yours. What have you been playing?
All right. Well, I got some. I got some games, or actually, I got gift cards. So I turned those gift cards into games for my birthday and graduation. So I picked up The Evil Within, which I picked that up at a Best Buy, and the store had it for the normal price. It was like $60, but I saw it online first, and they had it for like $31.99. So I had a gift card for like $25. I went up to the cash register. I was like, "Hey, your website says it's $31.99. Is that right?" And she was like, "Oh," and she did like a price match. So she punched it in. I got it for $31.99.
There's a chiptune artist that we follow on Twitter named Chipocret from Philadelphia. And he put out a tweet. He's like, I just saved $14 at Best Buy by them price matching themselves.
Yeah.
So this is the second time I've heard this in as many days. So
yeah, if you ever go to Best Buy and you're buying a video game, make sure, or anything, I guess, you go to their website and see if it's cheaper.
That's how I don't know if it's anymore. It's been a little while since I've had a Best Buy person look up inventory stuff. But normally, to see if they had something in stock, they would just go to their computer and go to the browser.
Yeah.
Like the associates. They wouldn't even run to the back or anything, or they didn't have some internal tracking system.
Yeah.
They would just go to the frickin' website right in front of me. And then they
Check
wouldn't
the
even
internet.
know how to navigate it as well as I did.
Ugh.
It's frustrating.
But at the same time, I mean, you can't blame them too much. They work at Best Buy.
I guess, but
I worked at Best Buy. I didn't give a crap about my job.
that's true. I always Kevin from the Paranerds, he worked at Best Buy and he kind of had the same attitude as you did.
But yeah, that was my Best Buy experience. I got it for like $6 out of pocket.
That's awesome.
Evil
Have
Within,
you,
yeah.
have you fired it up at all yet?
Not yet.
What kind of game is Evil Within?
It is, think of like Resident Evil 4-ish.
Okay.
It's made by the same guy, Shinji Mikami. And it's kind of a survival horror, action-y kind of game.
Cool.
But like I said, I've yet to boot it up. I got a GameStop gift card, and the guy that actually worked there made fun of me because I had $20, a $20 gift card, and I probably had 10 to 15 different games in my hand at any given time before I left the store. And I ended up leaving with Resident Evil Revelations 1 and Adventure Time, Hey Ice King, Why'd You Steal Our Garbage?
Did you get Revelatons or Revelations?
Ooh, that's a good question. Let me look.
Okay. So this will be interesting. Let's see which one. It's on the spine.
Revelations.
Okay. That's a bummer. I think that they still printed like 400,000 of the misprints though, so it's not like it's rare.
Oh, okay.
It's just kind of neat to have the screwed up one.
Yeah. Also for my birthday, I got a Blu-ray player
Oh,
for the
nice.
living room. So now my PS3 is in here,
Very cool.
so I can play on my PS1 and PS3 games finally.
Get Curious George out of there.
Yeah. So yeah, I picked up Revelations, and I played that a little bit on the PS3. Not very much, just kind of check it out, see if it worked well. And I picked up Adventure Time, Hey Ice King, Why'd You Steal Our Garbage?
I've never
And
even heard of this.
it's based off of the Adventure Time cartoon, which is
Okay.
actually a really cool cartoon. But it's, what if I told you that someone way forward, of all people, remade Zelda 2: The Adventure of Link, but did it in a way where the developers weren't actively hating you?
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, so they didn't mash in a whole bunch of extra cutscenes needlessly?
Nope.
Wow.
I mean, there's talking.
Well, yeah, that's okay. I'll just never get over DuckTales, man.
It's it is basically Zelda 2: The Adventure of Link,
That's awesome.
but set in Adventure Time.
What platform?
3DS.
Okay. Ooh.
You like one of the first things you get is a down thrust, just like in Zelda. The main game takes place like side scrolling, but in order to navigate, you have an overworld, which like as you walk around it, enemies will kind of spawn around you, and if you touch them, you'll get into like this little mini fight, which is side scrolling. I mean, it's the same game. Clearly, the guys at WayForward loved it.
The guys at WayForward do have a lot of experience with recreating older stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it shouldn't be that big of a surprise.
Yeah.
But it feels really close.
Yeah, really close.
Is it kind of like 3D Dot Game Heroes? Felt a lot like Link to the Past?
Probably. I still haven't played that.
Oh, you haven't? Wow.
But now that my PS3 is in here, I can.
Yes. Do you have a copy of that?
I do. It's still sealed up.
Okay, we'll crack it open.
And I played Bloodborne thanks to Mike T.
Yeah.
He sent me a copy for my birthday / graduation.
That's awesome, man. So, first impressions.
It's fun. It's great.
Yeah.
I've died so many times.
It's just that sounds like it should be a negative. This game is freaking sweet. I die all the time.
Well, so I played a lot of Demon Souls and Dark Souls.
Mm-hmm.
And before I played those, I watched a whole lot of video on those. So when I went into those games, I knew a great deal about the video games before I played them. Like where all the items were, like what character I wanted to build. So I didn't die as many times playing those games because I just knew the game so well before I even started them.
Mm-hmm.
With Bloodborne, I haven't seen anything. So I'm going into this fresh. And in Dark Souls and Demon Souls, I was very much a sword and shield guy, and there is none of that in Bloodborne.
Yeah.
So this is completely new to me. It's taken some getting used to. I still have yet to master the parry system using the gun, although I think it's a really cool idea. But yeah, I've died a lot, but I did like right before you called me, like right before the Skype started ringing,
Mm-hmm.
I killed the first boss.
Oh, hell yeah.
So I'm making progress.
Did you happen to see the video that Mike linked to us in the last episode?
Mm-hmm.
We put it in the YouTube channel, or he put it in the email. It's on his YouTube channel.
Oh, okay.
And it's a boss fight, and there are these 3 super creepy enemies. So there's one boss that has, sorry for the spoiler, you can look forward to this. 3 enemies at once, and you have to kill each of them. And it looked really frustrating, and I saw him be successful, and it still looked really tough to do. There's
This is his channel.
Yeah.
He has 0 subscribers. There,
Well, I think it's just for archive purposes. Are we the first one?
We're his first subscriber,
Hell yeah.
as it should be.
We
Dude,
were-
cool.
we
I'm
were
definitely
one
going
of
to
the-
watch that.
What now? Oh yeah, you definitely have to. Yeah, I don't think he publicly promotes it. Like, I've got 0 subscribers on my YouTube channel. I have no videos or anything like that.
Right, yeah.
Any effort I'm going to put into making a video is going to go up onto our channel.
That's the same way I feel. Like, I have my old channel still. And I'm like, hey, I should do something with that channel. But then I'm like, well, if I'm going to make a video, I'm going to put it on Classic Elite so actually people watch it.
Yeah. So Bloodborne first impressions are positive.
Yeah. Oh, man, that game it looks great.
See, the little bits that I've seen of it, it looks kind of muddy.
I don't know. Maybe it's...
By the time it's all compressed and it's getting to me through YouTube, that's
maybe
probably
so.
what it is.
Maybe it's not necessarily the technical achievement that I'm impressed with, just the art direction.
Okay.
Like I'm kind of, I have kind of a weird appreciation for like Victorian, like almost alternate history, kind of like the mad scientist aesthetic. You know how it has like, because and it's kind of that melded with FromSoft's usual like really strange Dark Souls, Demon Souls like art direction.
Mm-hmm.
So like it's everywhere around you. There are like caskets everywhere, and some of them are chained up and locked, and like there's just so much detail and so much stuff everywhere, and it all looks fantastic. And like you're in this city, and it's at dusk, so everything it's amazing. It looks great.
Fantastic.
I'm a total mark for that art direction, and just even like the first enemy that you run across is this werewolf, and the werewolf looks like something out of. Did you ever see like this is gonna sound weird, but the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen?
I did. I don't remember much of it though, but I do remember watching.
You just remember kind of like the aesthetic of it, just
Yes.
kind of how it would look. It looks like kind of like that.
Okay.
But like awesome.
I remember thinking that League of Extraordinary Gentlemen was okay.
Yeah. Oh man. But yeah,
But
Bloodborne.
the look of it, yes. I remember the aesthetic a lot. That's awesome, man. Now I'm not that I'm jealous about playing this, but I want to be part of the discussion.
hmm
It's not going to get me to buy a PS4, but I'm interested to hear you guys talk about it a bunch, which will be cool.
There's a really good guy. He does. His name's Epic Name Bro
Okay.
on YouTube, and he does like exhaustive Souls videos, and he's done the entire Bloodborne. So if you want to watch those instead of like try and buy and play the game, you could totally do that.
Not a bad idea. Good stuff to fall asleep watching.
Yeah.
I like to fall asleep watching Day 9 play point-and-click adventure games. They're just boring enough to fall asleep to, but I really enjoy him and his two friends talking about game design and trying to get through point-and-click adventure games. It's weird, but it's cool. So yeah, has that been pretty much it for the week then?
I feel like I played something else. Oh, I played some Killzone Mercenary on the Vita.
Oh, cool. Boy, those handhelds, man. You sure do hate them.
I hate them. I hate them. I was playing Killzone Mercenary, and I found myself like I'm playing, and I start doing this, like flattening it out.
Yeah.
And like I'm like, why can't I see anything? Oh, I'm dumb. That's why. So I have to like keep forcing myself to hold it like this.
I love handhelds.
I need a Vita TV. That's what it is.
Yeah. You just hook your controller up to it and play all those PS1 games. Good deal, man. Well, boy, this is going to be a really short episode. Excuse me, because I've pretty much played more Mario Kart 200cc. I've found that I really enjoy watching people play that game for the first time. It's hard when I know what to do, but everybody's genuinely caught off guard by how difficult it is. It's some
That's
really
cool.
good Mario Kart players who are like, yeah, I'm a master at 150cc. This can't be that bad. And everyone's reaction's like, whoa, this is fast. Oh my God, these turns are crazy. In the new courses, I haven't even tried on regular 150cc or lower. So I have no idea if they, if I actually genuinely like the course because I'm so white-knuckled the whole time I'm playing.
Yeah.
And the best my friend and I can do is we finished second in the, the Mario Cat Bell Cup. And then there's an Animal Crossing Cup, and we finished third in that. And that's the best we've been able to do so far.
You'd be proud of me. When I went to GameStop, I looked for Mario Kart.
Did you?
I did.
Yes.
But their Wii U rack was like this big.
Yeah.
So
You would think if they'd have any Wii U games, that would be one of them.
yeah.
I assume it was shovelware. Did they even have shovelware for the Wii U?
Not really. It was like a bunch of copies of like Luigi U Brothers.
Yeah.
Like Wonderful 101. They had Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, which I wanted, but it was like $50 or something. Something ridiculous. But like Bayonetta.
Yeah, after games like Axiom Verge or Ori and the Blind Forest, it's really tough to pay $50-$60 for a platformer.
Yeah. And it was like 1/8 of the shelf space was an amiibo,
Oh,
like commercial player. It was just playing a amiibo commercial on loop.
which makes sense because those are whatever fucking
Yeah.
amiibos. That was when I was on the Cartoon Retrocast. Jeremy was asking me on our show if we ever talk about amiibos. And I was like, no, we do not. And in fact, if you write an email in talking about amiibos, it will not get read on the show, thanks to Mike. And he got a kick out of that. So yeah, I mean, I did that. I had my most fun thing I did gaming wise might be the 2 comeback matches I had last night with my friends Matt and Tyler. So I'm playing Heroes of the Storm, and we're getting our asses kicked, just to the point that I wish that there was a button so that you could just forfeit and say, I give up, like, I've had enough of this, you win. And we came back and won both of those, and I wanted to quit twice.
That's awesome.
I was playing real bad, but it was cool to hear the conversation change, because it would be, we were all frustrated in the beginning, like, oh, this sucks, and I particularly was playing bad, so they were like, come on, man, you gotta play better than that. And then you could just feel it change a little bit, and we just kind of kept grinding through it, and you go here, this is where I'm going, all of this and that. And then we kind of look up, and before we know it, we're right back in the game. And then we start to get real hyped up, and we're like, okay, don't die, engage well, retreat, and all this kind of stuff. And then we ended up winning. And after both of the games, we just desperately wanted to know what the other teams were saying.
Yeah.
Because they had to just be so pissed. I did that. I played through some platforming stuff. I'm on the last level of Gunman Clive 2, so I played through that game again. I beat Super Contra for the first time without a code. However, I used save states because I played on my 3DS.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not quite good enough in that game to beat it just one run without the code. But I'm getting there, which is cool. I was never able to do that as a kid. I'm trying to think of what else. If I've played anything else. No, I don't think so. I think that's pretty much it for me. I still haven't gotten around to finishing up Hearthstone, the Blackrock Mountain final chapter, just because I've been more interested in playing Heroes lately. So yeah, that's pretty much been it for the last week as far as gaming is concerned. And I guess, do you want to get to our emails and YouTube comments and then call it a show?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So if you'd like to write into the show and have your email read on air, you can write to us at classicleet@gmail.com. That's classic L337. You can also go to our website and click Contact Us, and there's a little form that you can fill out, and that'll get right to our Gmail box. I'm going to start off with some stuff from Damez, which I love the way that he comments, because it's just off the top of his head, and it's right as he's listening to the episode. So we'll get 3 or 4 comments from him, because he'll comment on stuff we're saying, and I absolutely love reading those.
Yeah.
So one thing is, he says, use a proxy to Netflix at Wi-Fi hotspots. He's like a smart little hacker dude. He always has really good information for us. And he's like, if they're not aware of a particular proxy, it might work. Check out ola.org. It's free. And you can proxy Canada Netflix, USA Netflix, and UK Netflix. It's interesting. I don't know how legit that is, or legitimate, I should say. I'm sure that it's legitimately there. But it'd be interesting. I'm nervous about going through proxies, because I know that it's supposed to be like anonymous when you do that. But there's something about going to a site and then browsing through that site that makes me nervous about like someone spying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that would have been great for me to use. I wish I would have known about ola.org. because I used to be subscribed to the Major League Baseball internet package, but all of the Tigers games were blacked out because I live within a 3-hour drive of the stadium, which is ridiculous. So it would have been cool to proxy into an IP address that was outside of the Tigers market so that I could watch the content that I frickin' paid for.
Yeah.
And then also he asked a question, again, did I say this is Demez?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. Okay. He's like, why is Batman's minimum video RAM 3 gigs where PS4 and Xbox have nowhere near that amount and they still make it look good? Weird, question mark. The only thing I can think of is, and this is not from a technical background, I've just always heard that when it comes to developing for the PC, you almost need to brute force your way through certain things because there's so many variables and configurations out there that they actually have to require a lot more horsepower out of your hardware because it's not a locked down system.
Yeah.
I don't know. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally.
So, and then he has some Windows 10 advice, which I thought was really good. So he says, get it right away while it's free, but listen closely to my first advice. Make a backup image of your current Windows, or even just install your current Windows onto a spare hard drive. Once it's installed, do the upgrade and receive the register for your free Windows 10 key and license activation and all that. Then go back to your current setup with your key and your new Windows 10 key and the disk image backed up when you actually want to upgrade. So he's coming up with a way that will essentially allow you to delay the use of Windows 10. And do you remember me talking about this last week? How I basically my concern was that if I upgrade too early, all the kinks won't have been worked out, but I don't want to miss out on the free stuff, the free upgrades. So I think I might just take the gamble and wait like 8 months into the release of it until I hear that the patches are okay. Particularly tested.com, I'm going to be relying on them a whole lot. And then Guillermo del Toro should do a Kickstarter and try to make a new game called Quiet Mounds. Which I thought was pretty funny. So, Demez, thank you very much for writing in, man. We really appreciate it. And he's got a gaming channel. It is just search for DUHMEZ at YouTube, and you'll get right to his channel. So, thank you very much, Demez. I really appreciate it. And then we have an email from Mike T, our favorite emailer. Do you want to read this one, Dustin?
Yeah, let's see. The title of this one is called...
Southerner.
The title of this one is Test Ease. He says, hello all. It was really fun to have Scott on the Cartoon Retrocast and an open invitation stands to anyone else that wants to come on. Like Dustin, I've always had no problems taking tests. In high school and college, I actually loved taking them because I'd finish quickly, and we were able to leave class as soon as we were done. When I was a freshman, I remember finishing my geometry final in 30 minutes, and we were given 2 hours to do it.
Smart mother... Wow.
Yeah, I wonder if he did well or if he was just like, C.
He's got a pretty great job, so...
Yeah, I'm assuming he's just super smart and knows everything. He also says, I'm 3 bosses away from getting my platinum trophy in Bloodborne. Although it was a fun game, going for 1 trophy has me burnt out on it, and I don't even have the trophy yet. Only 3 more bosses to go, but I'm ready to put that game on a shelf and never play it again. In case Scott hasn't mentioned it yet, I got the okay from my wife to ignore my family for an entire evening, and I'd like to be on a Bloodborne spoiler cast. It's a bit easier since the baby is now 9 months old. What the hell? I
it is crazy.
I'm pretty flexible, so basically whenever Dustin is ready to talk about it, and Josh can make it on the show. That's it for me. Later all, Mike T.
Yeah, so hopefully next week, what I'm thinking that we'll be able to do is do a normal episode, and then at the end of the episode, for anybody that doesn't want any spoilers about Bloodborne, they can stop listening at that point, and then the 4 of us will just dive into the game. You guys can talk about what you liked about it. I can ask you questions. You guys can tell me why I'm dumb for not having a PS4 and playing it. Everyone that I've talked to that has given the game a shot has really enjoyed it. So I do feel like I'm missing out a little bit there. But yeah, Mike, thanks a lot for writing in, man. Usually he asks us a question. We didn't get one this week. Wake up, Dustin. We're almost done. Actually, we are almost done. So I think that'll wrap up the show. Thanks a lot for listening. For music this week, I am going to play a song by a guy named Serror, like Cerror, and he wrote the song on the Atari ST, and it's called That Ass, spelled Data and SS, which I've seen that pun before, but it feels appropriate when it's a song written on the Atari ST.
Yeah.
So he can get away with it. Well, yeah, that should be it for this episode. And yeah, if you want to email us, go ahead and email us. You can find us on Stitcher, iTunes, and I did start uploading to SoundCloud. Also, we're on Twitter. We are on Facebook, and most importantly of all, subscribe to our YouTube channel and like our videos. That would be great if you could do that. YouTube.com/ClassicLeet. I'd like to thank everyone again for listening, and we will see you next week for episode 140. Gosh, 140 feels like a big number.
Yeah.
So, all right, everyone, we will see you soon.
Boosh.